There is this crazy post that's currently going around Reddit that's saying, is David bi, and could he have been in a gay relationship with Neo?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was more surprised that he liked girls. When I first found out who he was, I'm like, that nigga like girls? He looked like he a little freaky dinky.
And that might have been what led to the murder of Celeste over jealousy. But before we get to that, okay, I've got to tell you everything that's been going on. Because TMZ did post this today, and a lot of people have been distracted by the news that the body was allegedly frozen. They're overlooking this crazy... Like, I can't believe
I didn't see this part.
Okay?
I heard about the body being frozen yesterday, but I didn't hear about this part.
And a lot of people have glossed over this. They're looking at the freezer now, but it's been reported a second suspect has been identified, and it was apparently the last person to use David's Tesla. LAPD homicide detectives have ID'd a second suspect in the death of Celeste Rivas, and it's someone who law enforcement says could be involved before, during and after her death. Mark,
like, look at this. Don't it look like he like boys? It don't look nothing to me like this man is interested in no type of thing.
Mark Garagos dropped the new info on the latest Two Angry Men podcast after speaking with people directly involved in the case.
Look at him. Come on, bro. Shit, if somebody told you this man was part of the LMNOP community, would you believe him? Because I would.
He said that law enforcement has done a stunningly impressive job connecting the dots in this case using a combination of cell phone and Tesla data along with location data from social media. Garagos and Harvey from TMZ both independently confirmed with sources that a central part of the case is a mysterious trip that David took to a remote area of Santa Barbara County in the middle of the night last spring.
And he did that in the middle of the night too? Oh my God. I'm convinced that's where he took the little girl to cut her body up. You see what I'm saying? And whoever was with him, somebody probably helped him. It's gotta be some type of, like, you can't cut no human body up with no butter knife, my nigga. You gotta buy something. So I'm sure it's some type of surveillance footage. He probably, if he's smart, he paid with cash. But it's gotta be some type of surveillance footage on him buying a saw or something. You know what I'm saying? No. Yeah.
They had conversations with their sources, and investigators believed that her body might have been in the car, and Garagos insinuates various data showed the second suspect may have also been in the vehicle at that time. Who is this second suspect? Well, people have had a clue about this. People have had their theories about this for over a month.
Yeah, because the private investigator, y'all got to do your homework on these videos now. You got to keep up. The private investigator said that he saw the footage. And he seen the person, the last person that pulled up that Tesla by the crib, and he was able to identify who that person was. Some people thought it was David himself at that moment, but you know, that would have been a little too easy for me. You feel? But yes, it looked like he liked boys, folks. It looked like he liked stuff in his butt. I'm just saying, folks. But you don't shoot the messenger now.
This was a post that came out quite some time ago when the private investigator, Steve Fisher, he said he knows who moved the Tesla with the body in the trunk. He basically inferred, that he knew who it was that was the last person to drive the Tesla. It wasn't David. This was on October the 17th, 2025, over a month ago, okay? This is the second comment. The second top comment. The MF who moved the car right now, sweating.
Sweat bullets.
David and that MF. 1 month ago, Neo.
Who the hell is Neo?
And they're cracking jokes here. Not even the Matrix will save him. But people thought a month ago that Neo was the last person who moved this car. And there's comments all over this post that are over a month old saying he has to be alluding to Neo moving the car. He called him out on X a few days ago. He's not the kind of person that made substantiated allegations. It has me questioning Neo as well. Okay? People are saying, this is what Steve tweeted. He said, let's speculate the Tesla was moved the last time and left in the parking spot it was impounded from right before tour started in San Francisco. Who actually moved the Tesla the final time? You don't get answers unless you ask questions. So I'll ask, was it Neo? Just curious.
It gotta be some type of thing too, because if y'all don't know, the body got discovered, the body got moved right there, right before this nigga went on tour. So if you ask me, and I'm not no law enforcement professional, but if you ask more, and they said the body was frozen. You feel me? You got to do your homework on these updates, man. So if the body was frozen, then it sounds like he was about to go on tour. And it sounds to me like there was no way for him to secure wherever he was freezing the body at. There was no way for him to watch it and make sure nobody went in there and found the body while he was on tour. So he had someone, somewhere, somehow put this little girl body into a bag, put it in a Tesla, and leave it right there. And he probably thought that, you know, it was just going to I guess, I don't know. I don't know what
saying this Neo character is involved for sure. Also, he said the car was moved before they went on tour. Neo went on tour with David, and that is Neo. All right? And people are saying that there might have been some kind of romantic relationship going on between them. People are hating on Neo. It says, I went through his...
Hold on, y'all. This is my clothing brand. I need y'all to go support your boy, okay? And supporting your boy with some pretty cheap clothing, all right? And you're going to be fly and fresh as hell, man, all right? Link in the description. Theari.us. Go shop.
Instagram, he seems like the most brain-dead F-boy. If it was him, no wonder the whole attempt of disposing of the body was so messy. Yeah. All right? Everybody's bringing Neo's name up. Comes up comment after comment after comment months ago.
Neo. This months ago, right.
And this theory, it's been going around
Who the hell is
this
Neo,
hasn't just come out of nowhere. People
Somebody
are posting, what's with
that.
Neo? Why is everyone mad at him? People are trying to find out. And they're saying, from what the PI's been saying, it looked like he was the last person to move the car, and he would have known she was in there due to the smell. He's pretty much gone lockdown.
I don't give a damn what nobody talking about, though. If he got in that car with a decomposed body and moved it to where he moved it, he smelled that body. You're not about to tell me you just driving with no dead body in the trunk and you don't smell nothing. Fuck you.
On all socials, and I think he posted something a couple hours ago with a song and some odd stuff. We don't know
what
why
does
he used
Neo
the song,
look
but
like,
it's some bad timing with weird lyrics that can be inferred as him essentially mocking, but more on acknowledging everything that's happening. Okay? People suspect Neo because he's known David for years. He's very close to David and overly affectionate with him in photos, especially after February 2025.
Especially after February. We know that February is when the girl died.
Easily 50 examples of the above. Steve made comments about Neo, and Neo's gone silent on social media. So this is an old clip of Neo saying that he's known David for years
now. So
is he a streamer?
Like people thought that I met him through Sakura, but no, I've known David for years, and I met Sakura like 2 months ago through Tofu, and then my worlds just kind of combined together, and it just was kind of funny.
This is some real LA weirdo West Coast California shit, man. I'm telling you right now, man.
They've known each other for years.
Okay.
But look, let's just get to it, okay? This is a post that's currently going around on the Celeste subreddit. It said, is David bisexual? Him and Neo could have been in a relationship, and maybe he got jealous of Celeste or something, which could have led to her death. I just don't understand how someone else would be so willing to chop up a body unless they had hatred for the girl too.
Right.
The TMZ article is disturbing. This can't be okay, my girlfriend just OD'd and this is a way to cover it up. There's a reason the LAPD is still treating this as a homicide. Even if it wasn't Neo, the other person had to have had hatred and had to be deeply close with David. I get that David could have paid someone off, but David is someone I literally just heard of from this case. He's not some top-tier Diddy-level celebrity.
Right.
Or probably David and the other suspect killed her together, and they both felt they had to cover it up together. And honestly, this just confirms they knew Celeste was a missing child, because they know they had plenty of time since no one was looking and no one cared. This is exactly why missing children should be deeply prioritized.
Literally.
Killers go for the vulnerable.
Exactly, because she was a missing girl, so okay, she missing. Ain't nobody really looking for her. Like, it's not like if you kill somebody who, let's say you kill a girl who lives at home with her mom and she comes home every day or whatever the case is. If you kill her and she doesn't come home, then people was like, okay, where's my daughter? Where's my sister? What's going on? Here go the police. If she's already missing, then that opens up a window for weirdos like this guy right here. Because this motherfucker's a weirdo. You're just gonna do... He's weird. It opens up a door for you to kill a girl who's already missing. So if can't nobody find her, they already couldn't find her. You feel me? So it's like, it's not no breaking news. Like, oh, we can't find Celeste. Yeah, she been missing for a year. You know what I'm saying? So it gives them so much more time. Matt, bro, honestly... If they never put this body in that Tesla and parked the Tesla right there, they could have just parked the Tesla in the garage. We probably would have never found her again on bro grave. It would have been, imagine if she just would have, been dead for 10, 15 years straight. Her parents ain't seen her in so long. Nobody know what the fuck did happen. You feel me? And by 10 years, it's hard to solve a case that happened 10 years ago, bro, So in a way, it's fucked up to say. Like, I'm not glad that she died or nothing, but I'm glad that they found her when they found her, bro. Because we wouldn't, none of this would be going on. This nigga still be on tour, making millions of dollars. He probably would have blew up some more. Him and his weird ass boyfriend or whatever the fuck they was. You feel me? A lot of shit would have went down, bro. And the parents wouldn't have even known that their daughter died.
This is exactly why missing children should be deeply prioritized. Killers go for the vulnerable.
Yeah.
And people are in the comments. Some people are saying it's more likely they both had an obsession with gore and wanted to experiment with it together.
That's what I think. I think that they was both some weirdos. They had an obsession with gore and blood and shit like that. And I don't know. It's some weirdo sick shit. And I think they was both weird. They probably was high as hell somewhere one day, and they was like, "Oh yeah, let's experiment with some gore. Let's see what it's like to cut up a body. Let's on some weird shit." I'm scared. Okay.
People are saying it's truly disturbing. Like, if they both did, why choose to act on the obsession? Like, did they feel it would be swept under the rug since she was missing? And why is she in the trunk now? At that point, if they ate her, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, people are saying they're asking the wrong question. Okay, but this isn't new. This isn't something that's just been made up. A lot of people are saying David, Neo, and Asia seem like they were all together in some kind of relationship. Some people are saying David definitely is bi. He seems depraved as F, and he probably hurt animals as a child.
For sure.
Okay, but there are other things that are going around that seem to hint towards something weird going on between them. This was a post that went around, and this was 16 days ago. Neo and the elephant in the room. He posted this. All right. This is just a little something, all right? This is just a little something on top of all the other stuff. But he said, LMFAO forgot I'm not allowed to make any jokes or do anything remotely gay now. And then he posted this rubber band in the shape of a ding-dong. And he said, they're definitely going to think you're gay for this one. Okay? And now a lot of people were hating on him. They weren't coming at the bisexual angle, but they were saying, how do I make myself the main character? In awe of his dissonance. You were in the close circle of a PDF and potential murderer. Right. There are very little crimes more horrendous than this. Exactly. Ever since Celeste had been identified, this man has continued partying in LA, called the situation nothing, and complained about people calling him gay online. I don't think I met many people with such low levels of empathy. And people have been calling out that Asia girl, like saying she's no better.
Weird, crazy
she's a sociopath,
shit, bro.
Okay? They're saying all of these could have been avoided. He should have made a statement that said, RIP, I'm sorry this happened. I had nothing to do with it. I'm working with the LAPD to bring justice. But it doesn't sound like that's what's happening. Okay?
Of course it's not what happened.
There's people who are
if he known this man for years, if he been around David for years, right? And David was around this little girl for years, he known all that story about all these people was around and they thought the girl was 19 and she had a fake ID. There is no universe on this earth where a 12-year-old little girl looks like she's 19 or 20. I don't give a fuck what her ID says. I don't care how she dresses. I don't care. There's no place on God green earth where a 12-year-old boy or a 12-year-old girl will pass for being 20. I don't give a fuck what they look like, what they wear, how they talk, what's going on. If you talk to this person for more than 5 minutes, you will be able to tell that this is a little ass girl. I've seen pictures of the girl when she was 12 years old, 13, 14. She looked 12, 13, 14. The fuck? So if they was around him, they was just as weird. They said his brother was helping her sneak in backstage, and somebody else was helping her make sure she was offline. Some shit, I don't know. Everybody need to go to jail. Do your homework.
Well, in hiding a murder, it's almost common sense to us to want to do that. He's saying it because so many people on Facebook and Instagram are saying he and David are actually gay lovers and plan to kill Celeste to be together. He's saying, I would say something too. People are thinking this is absolutely crazy. And it is crazy. David's got comments on posts on Neo's page talking about who else cried/came.
What the fuck?
Is it a joke or is he serious or is it the truth said in jest? He's talking about looking at posts that Neo's put up and saying he came, and then Neo's replying saying I cried and came on you.
Oh hell no! Hey man, listen man. FBI, open up! Listen man, I don't joke with my friends like that. Never have, never will.
Is it a funny joke?
No.
Is it a funny joke with some truth behind it? Is it a funny joke that goes absolutely...
They're trying to joke
to
keep
try
away
and
from the truth.
distract from maybe something that was really going on, trying to make a little light of something that is actually really going on? I don't know, but I do feel like there's a lot of very strange things like this. People are saying, looks like the cleanup was incomplete. David's comment is still on this guy's page, part of the original crew. He made a statement calling a dead child being found in his friend's car nothing, and he's still partying it up on his IG stories. Does anyone know what this guy does? Looking at his Instagram, it seems like he's just some regular school-aged kid, and I wonder how David got acquainted with them.
If he's young, then that's definitely David's type, my guy. Do your homework.
There's a number of kind of
Come on, bro. They gay as fuck. Stop it! Bro, they is a couple, gang. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about or what y'all looking at. These two right here, look at them. It's some weird LA, California shit going on, man. I'm trying to tell you, bro. This is why. It's one of the many reasons. People like this is walking around LA more than y'all realize, bro. Like, this is the normal person in LA. So if you're normal and you go to LA, you're going to feel like a weirdo because everybody else is fucking weird. That's why I had to get... I barely lasted a year, bro. It was over with. I had...
pouty pictures of them together, and then there's also this picture that's been going around, right? David and Neo laid out together. They look like they're on the floor with some like cushions laid out, and David's wearing a shirt that says "Sounds gay, I'm in," and he's got his hand tucked underneath Neo's waist.
Does.
All right, and there's nothing wrong. Look, any kind of love, any kind of sexuality is cool with me. But when bodies are being found in trunks and people are suggesting that this might have been the person who moved the it's starting to look very suspicious, right? And people are saying that these images are being scrubbed from the internet. Okay, they're scrubbing any pictures that they had together, all of these things. People were saying his entire Twitter account was glazing David, then he deleted all of his David-related tweets. I think he would have made a statement by now. He crashed out on the YBG streamer over smaller things. I personally think he's lawyered up or being investigated. Never asked Neo why he touched you with the girls. Santi OSCS. It's another picture here. Neo with the girl in the background that a lot of people thought was Celeste. Is that David and Celeste in the back? And
Isn't
people are
this
saying
the
this
other
is the other
Celeste?
Celeste, Celeste Herrera. And is that David and the real Celeste? Right? Now, there's an interesting comment here, okay, that actually is underneath.
So Neo is the Asian dude. This shit is starting to get sicker and sick. Like, this little girl has been sadly passed away. This case been going on since September. This shit has got weird every time I watch a video or this weird shit going on, I find out that it's true. A few weeks go by and I find out that a lot of the shit that they saying it's true.
A post that's basically all about the news about the body being allegedly frozen, okay? And this is an interesting comment that kind of touches on Neo. It says, so with this awful news that she was decapitated and frozen, it tells me that they took their time on deciding what to do with the remains. Knowing teens, or almost teens, they eventually forgot about it for the most part, as David probably left it in Neo's capable hands. Again, I believe he is the alpha in all of this. More concerned about his upcoming tour and concert at Coachella at the time, how should the police proceed from here? My 2 cents, if Neo is only an accomplice after the fact, then they need him to flip and give him a deal. If, however, he actually took part in this from the beginning, some posters here think Neo and David were romantically involved, then it would be difficult for the cops to get a confession, and they will have to put this case together through circumstantial evidence, which will be difficult. Praying for justice for Celeste.
No cap.
So this was the original post 2 months ago that Neo posted after cleansing his socials of any mentions of him or David. He said, I mean, yeah, eventually I'm going to say something, but I kind of hate forcing myself into solitude, because people on the internet assume the worst in people and will make up legit anything out of nothing. He's calling
Why you keep saying anything out of nothing when we found a dead little girl's body in your trunk? That's not nothing. That's not making something out of nothing. What the fuck?
Nothing. So eventually I'll say something when I'm ready to. Love all the real people that have been kind to me and don't make false assumptions. Right? People saying they're wondering how much they know, all right? So he says that people on the internet will legit make anything out of nothing. Nothing. A dead child in his bro's car trunk is nothing. Interesting, if not sociopathic take.
For sure,
there's
something wrong with that nigga ass.
Right? Salitude. Now, this was a whole month ago. Somebody put together an entire activity timeline of everything that Neo has been involved in, all right? This is Neo's activity timeline. So let's just look at all the stuff where Neo is mentioned. They're saying after the PI's statements caused some concerns, I thought I'd do a timeline regarding
private investigator.
Neo's whereabouts according to his social media profile. I do understand that picture dump style posts consisting of images that are taken over a time period and not necessarily one single day, so I will decrease my focus on such posts. Do also note a lot of his social media is deleted or privated, so I'm going on what I have and what his friends posted, okay? So it says here, 25th of July, Neo was... is this hang on, all right, so I'll just focus on all the stuff where Neo is kind of mentioned and he's relevant. Okay, 25th of July, he was seen partying on David's IG stories, photoed wearing a grey ribbed knit sweater. Then on the 2 days later, he was seen partying on IG wearing David merch with a giant labubu. 29th of July, David's black Tesla was seen moving for the last time on surveillance by an individual wearing identifiable clothing who immediately went on tour afterwards. The individual was also spotted wearing the same identifiable clothing 12 hours before this, entering David's Vieira Drive residence. This is suspected to be Neo.
Right.
David had a show in San Francisco. Neo and Asia were both seen with him.
Okay.
His IG highlights showed him celebrating Tara Yummy's birthday. David is photographed at the same event wearing a bright red shirt, and Neo allegedly is still wearing the red fishnet shirt with 28 on it.
Okay, is he wearing a red fishnet shirt?
And they're basically saying that was something that he was wearing on the 28th of July. So his little outfits are getting him caught up, right? And David's continuing to play these shows. David's been on tour. 5th of August, tour date in Del Marcio. Neo posted, "We got shut down" on his IG story in the middle of the road. People are unsure if it was at his tour or another unrelated party. Neo hasn't been seen in David's vlogs. Neo's not seen. David's vlogging, he's doing shows, but he's not been seen. And then on the 9th of August, Neo posts himself at a concert in a mosh pit. Okay. Not sure if it's David's show or another unrelated party. He continues posting himself on Instagram on the 10th of August. He's partying in LA on the 16th of August. And then, you know, a little bit of time passes, right? Different people are seen, and eventually the car is found, right? The car is towed, and he was still seen partying on IG. He's out in LA partying non-stop, partying with influencers non-stop, all through September.
Partying.
The body is found inside David's Tesla on the 8th of September. She's not identified. And on the 13th of September, still partying, right? The body's identified on the 17th. David cancels his tour. He's seen at TwitchCon. Seen partying again. He's partying. He's having a great time. Halloween party. Says, with that, we can see that Neo was consistently hanging out with David before his tour. He was also partying almost daily. We can confirm that Neo was present at David's tour dates in California, but not in other states. He was confirmed to be back in LA by the 10th of August. This means he cannot be completely ruled out as the person who moved the car initially before David went on tour, or moved the car last any time before the 27th of August when David's car was marked. People are asking here, what is Neo's role in David's life? Is he like his media manager, tag along, or just a friend? Do these young folks work? Help me understand this bizarre anime culture. And people are saying he was extremely close to David. If they did work with him, he was probably an honorary title. Another commenter mentioned that Azio was a videographer and photographer, but I didn't find anything in his album credits to support that, and I checked till 2023. Now, some people on Reddit, they believe that Neo actually went back to David's mansion whilst David was
how, like, you gotta look at little shit though, like the body language and stuff like that. You see how she's more like on the outskirts, kind of just standing there. They look like they're together. Like their bodies are like, you know what I'm saying though? Like they look like they're together on some weirdo freak shit. She looked like she just there.
On tour. This was the first show of his tour where he went Hello Kitty on them. And he asked his crowd members to throw labubus on stage, and he's chilling there with Neo. All right. Swipe image. The first day of tour, David had the digital camera on him. After the California shows, Neo didn't stay for the rest of the tour. A digital camera was found by the private investigator Steve Fisher at the mansion with Celeste's last photo. Neo must have probably went back to the mansion and left the digital camera. Why? Who knows? speculation. Someone says, I remember watching one of his blogs and Neo was there with a group. Someone asked him if it was his crib, and of course he said, no, this is David's. Maybe he was given the key regularly. It's not like the manager would have one key if he lived out of town. So they're thinking he might have been back inside of the mansion. One theory's going around where they say, my theory, David, Asia, and Neo could have possibly given Celeste drugs to have hushed her because they didn't want her to expose David and things went left. This is only a theory. But somebody says, this is my theory on what could have happened. If you disagree, that's fine. I'm not stating it's factual. To keep it straight to the point, I feel like the whole group was together. David, Asia, and Neo, and maybe whoever else is in this group, and Celeste was there, and she could have said something or did something that could have made them scared or triggered fear of David being exposed for being in a relationship with a minor. And knowing them, they probably all feel like they have to stick together because they all kiss David's ass. David's the meal ticket.
Right.
So they could have possibly isolated her or gave her something or a drug to kind of calm her down or relax her to be quiet. She could have possibly OD'd or things went too far. And instead of...
See, I don't know about this theory. I think it's more likely that, they all was on some weirdo shit with the little girl, and they was all probably let's just be honest here, bro. Let's just go back for a second. Let's just take our time, go back, and look at that weird ass picture that these people got. Let's see, what can we do here? You see this weird ass picture right here? You see all of this shit? Where's the next picture at? I don't know where. I don't know why.
Statements cause some concern. All right.
It's not
20 identity or young fits a road.
To it.
It's dead. Car. His body.
I don't know where the picture's at.
They believe that Neo.
These people look like they do drugs. Do your homework, okay? When you got the black fingernails and all this weird shit going on, it looked like you do. If you ask you, I'll look at you. I'm gonna think you do drugs. You pop pills or some shit. You do something. You feel me? So, and most times when you have like a minor, little girl like that who around a grown nigga and he on some weirdo drugs are usually involved in situations like that because they just, I don't know why. They just are. So, I personally think, I think that her death could have been accidental. And I'm not saying that it wasn't. I don't think that it wasn't accident. I don't think that it's impossible for her death to be accidental. But what accidentally didn't happen, the reason I don't think it is because she was cut up. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of what people say or what people talking about, it make no logical sense. If your friend, I don't give a fuck how old the girl was, if your friend or your whatever you call it, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, was OD'd on some drugs and you didn't call the ambulance to try to save her, you didn't give her nothing to try to save her, and then you wherever she passed away at, you picked her body up, moved it somewhere, drove that shit to Santa Barbara, cut her body up, cut her head off, her limbs off, all this weird shit, froze her body for I don't know how long, and then took her body out the freezer, put it in a bag, put it in a Tesla, and drove that shit back to LA and left the car in front of the mansion. Now I don't think it was accidental no more. You feel me? Because y'all on some weirdo shit. You feel me? Because God forbid, I'm ever in a room or somebody I know ever happens, but let me ask you this. If you in a room with a friend, right, and the friend overdoses, and let's say for whatever reason you don't want people to know that you was hanging out with this person, wouldn't you rather call the police and be like, I don't know, she just overdosed, look? Because when the police get there and they see that she overdosed, they're not going to think that a murder happened. They're not even going to ask any questions. But if you take that body and cut her up and all, now they're asking questions. So it's like if it was an accident, I feel like it would have been handled different, bro. It's just hard for me to believe that this shit was an accident. And it's starting to seem more and more like we never really gonna know. Like, this shit wasn't on camera nowhere or nothing like that. So they gonna really have to pull out all they stops if they want to convict this nigga or whoever was involved. But I hope they do, folks, because this shit's some crazy shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.